It can either gather dust and stacks of mail, or your entryway table can set a tidy tone for the home. The key is how to style this table for low maintenance function and also beauty as well. Designer Melissa Reynolds has a simple formula that once you know, it will make styling and polishing up this area of your home pretty much a piece of cake. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
So would you consider this an important piece of furniture for the home?
Yes, I think the console table sets the tone for your whole home. So when you walk into your entryway, it kind of gives you a feel for your style and a feel for your personality and what you want. And it also allows you to have some function as well. So it allows you to do storage, and it allows you to have layered lighting, which is really important in a space as well. So it's pretty and functional as well.
Well, I can think of maybe two perspectives from this. One, there are some doorstep guests that will never see beyond your console table.
Right.
If we're
right.
dressing to impress.
Right.
But really, if you're walking through the door and that's the first thing your eyes lay on
right.
in your own space, I can see where that would be a tone setter.
Right. And I think it also helps to make that space feel like one area. So depending on whether or not your entryway is big or small, you can still have it feel like its own separate space from the rest of the home.
Well said. You have a formula to get us started, and the concept here is the triangle of L.
Yes, so it's kind of cheesy, so just go with me here.
I like cheesy.
But so if you think about your console table as like a triangle, and when I style entryways, I do this 99% of the time.
Okay.
So on the top we have long, which means we need something tall or long behind the table, which helps to elongate the space.
Okay.
And it helps to fill up that area.
This is a mirror, a piece of artwork?
A mirror or a piece of artwork is what I always do.
Okay.
So here we have a tall mirror, which helps to help the space feel balanced. So when we're talking about the console, balance is really important, and I'll talk about that more. But so we have long, over here we have lamp.
Okay.
You never can go wrong with a lamp because we need to balance out the two ends with something substantial. So we're talking about, we have a tall mirror here, but we don't want two squatty things on the ends. We need something that can balance it all out.
Okay.
So we'll have a big lamp, and then leaves I put, which is greenery, which you get a big vase and fill it with greenery, which not only helps the space to feel alive with the outside, but it also adds another layer of dimension with the leaves. So
can we go back to that graphic for a second? This is really an interesting field of study. It comes naturally for you with your beautiful design brain. But as we look at it again, I'm your student. I'm your willing and humble student. Elongate at the top.
Yes.
Lamp on the right side. Leaves on the left. Now you mentioned layering the lighting. What does that mean exactly?
So layering lighting is any lighting other than like your overhead lighting. So other than your flush mounts or like your can lights. So anything like that. It's lamps, which is wonderful because not everybody has great overhead lighting. So layering your lighting in throughout your space is what really helps it to feel warm and collected, but also give you enough lighting. And lamps are great because not only are they beautiful and pretty, but they're also like a big piece that can help carry the weight of this table. So again, when we're talking about scale here.
I was just going to ask you about that. You touched on it, but elaborate more on scale.
Okay, so depending on the size of your table, you want to make sure that everything is balanced. So this table is about 55 inches long. It's a pretty standard size table.
And when you say size of the table, you are most commonly referring to length.
I'm referring to the length.
Okay.
So if you have a big entryway, you're going to want a bigger table that can fill up that space. So this table is a pretty standard table. We need to have two pieces on each end that can sustain the length of the table. Now, if we have a table that's half of this size, obviously I'm not going to use this size of lamp. It's way too big. It's going to look funny. So we want to make sure that we have a piece that is long enough, that can help balance it all out.
It's almost double the height.
Yes. And we also want to have pieces on the end that can balance out the weight as well. And then what we do in the center is we're just going to pepper in little accessories to kind of finish it off and layer off the look.
Okay, and you want a little bit of breathing space or gap space in between these elements, it seems you've described.
Yes, so we don't want to like
jam it all in.
And make it feel cluttered. So that's another thing that's important with scale, is to make sure that things are balanced, but also varying heights. Because if you look at a space and it feels off to you, 90% of the time, it's because the scale is off and everything's one height and so it feels squatty, or everything's way too tall and it just looks off. But if you have balance, your eye it looks good to your eyes. So it's funny because your eyes will directly go to something that looks off, and sometimes you can't pinpoint what it is, but a lot of the times it's because the balance is off, the scale is just off.
I just love you for giving us a formula. This is what us non-designers or us at-home designers need. Long lamp leaves.
Yes, the cheesiness.
I'm here for it. I am here for it all day long. You also like to switch things out seasonally, which a lot of people do.
Sure. So we can like start layering things in, and I can tell you. So here's our leaves over here that can go next to you.
Oh, that's a heavy guy.
It is heavy.
Okay.
One great thing that we can switch out is our leaves. So for the seasons, you want to kind of change the decor with your seasons. I like to switch out our leaves. Like I just had some in my entryway that were pine, like for Christmas, and you can do like ones that are for fall. This is a great way.
Where are you shopping for good stems?
I get all mine at Hobby Lobby or Michael's.
Okay.
100% of the time I do, and they're great prices. So that's a great way to add in some seasonal decor. Another easy thing to do is to layer in some artwork. I kind of like I was talking about before, is layering. This is just a pretty piece, but you can switch this out for seasons, which is really fun as well.
And inexpensive.
Way to update. So I have some boxes over here. This is another great way to add in like some height.
Okay.
So we just set these here.
Oh my gosh, it looks amazing already.
A little fun little accessory here that you can add.
Why is this so hard? We attempted on our own, and Melissa swoops in, and suddenly we're in.
It's just layered. It's not too crazy, but it adds more dimension with these little areas here. But if you can start with the formula of our little triangle, and then kind of add things in. Books are always a wonderful way to add height and to kind of take up more space.
And are we still liking page out for the neutral?
I don't think it matters. These are books that I got at like the thrift store, and so the labels on them, the names of the books aren't typically something that you would want to like advertise. So if that's the case, then I flip them around. It doesn't matter. I think you can do both.
All right. And if you're against a wall, or if you're pulled out, what if you're not against a wall, you're pulled out a little bit?
So if you have a table behind a sofa, then it's the same thing. Obviously, you're not going to hang something above it, but the same thing. I still always will do a lamp and a vase of something green, kind of smaller things in between. Same concept.
All right, this is genius. Thank you so much. You are helping people find accessories. Tell us about your new subscription service.
So I started a new aspect of my business where I'm doing a home decor subscription box. So it ships out 4 times a month. It coincides with the seasons, and each box has 6 different items in it that I have sourced, and these are all coming from places, wholesalers that are to the trade only. So it's not something that can get everywhere. You know, I love Target as much as the next person, but sometimes it's nice to have unique pieces that everybody doesn't have. So they're all unique and similar to what you see here.
What a cool idea. So 4 times a year,
the box comes.
6 accessories, each subscription. And you can update or switch out your current home decor. I love that.
It's kitchen items. It's items that could be for bedroom, family room, anywhere in the home.
What's your website?
So you can find more information at brasshouseinteriors.com or on Instagram at brasshouseinteriors.
What an innovative idea, Melissa. Thank you so much. Brass House Interiors is where you go for more information on that.